Welcome to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show. With me now, I have head acrobatics and tumbling coach Taylor Broadwater. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
This past weekend, Coach, you're at the NCATA National Event Finals. You competed in two, the 6 element and the 450 salto. You finished last in both, but like we talked before, you were proud of the girls. Just your thoughts on those two events.
Definitely nothing to hang their head about this season. They finished on the national stage. That's all you can ask of a team in a growing program. So I'm very, very happy with how things went this weekend. They executed very well, represented Glenville well. So at the end of the day, they did very well in both of those events. You're competing against D1 schools, so they competed with the best of the best, and that's all you can ask for from them.
Yeah, especially in those two events, you're competing against Baylor, who's, a dynasty now. Mm-hmm. But as the season, just as a whole, you went 6-4, 4-2. Went to the MEC tournament, won a couple MEC titles. Your thoughts just on the whole season, as a whole?
Just a great overall year for us. I'm very happy with how this season went. Breaking program record was a great start to the year and a good thing that we accomplished. Mm-hmm. Getting 3 girls to be first team all conference and then 1 second team all conference. Definitely a lot of season highs and program highs for us this year. So a lot to look forward to growing. But overall, I'm really proud of my seniors. I'm really sad to be losing as many of them as we are, but definitely looking to bring in some freshmen to try to continue to grow this program and continue in the direction that we're heading. But overall, I'm extremely happy with the girls and the leadership that we had. We are losing very good leadership with our seniors, but definitely something that they set the standard high, and I hope that the team will continue to push in that direction of where they set the standard. But I think it'll definitely be something exciting next year coming in. But I just wish my seniors the best, and I'm very happy with everything they've done for me and for the program and the girls.
And you talk about the seniors, you talk about the recruiting trail. You guys have been very active in that portion. How do you feel that you guys have done reforming the roster? You're slated to bring back a couple all-conference people as it is, but just in general, how do you feel that you've reformed the roster?
We definitely are bringing in some good talent. Obviously, bringing in freshmen, though, it's a brand new sport, so they don't know the sport. They don't know. So what I'm losing is a lot of talent. I'm losing my starting lineup. Yeah. So definitely something to rebuild. It's going to be next year will look a lot different for us in preseason. A lot of basics, a lot of drills for a while, where this year the girls picked right up and we were able to get going pretty quickly. So next year is going to be a lot of trusting the process. We stress that a lot, but next year I think that's going to take on a whole new meaning for the whole new meaning for the upperclassmen, just because they're used to kind of hitting the ground running a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. And next year, bringing in all these freshmen that we are to replace is just, it will take time. It'll take time and patience. And that's just something that we need to look forward to, but do it in a positive light, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, we appreciate you having on today. And as always, it was an honor to cover you guys all season long.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you've done.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show. With me now, I have head track and field coach Dan Myers. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So it's been a while since we've had you. Been a while since we had the MEC Outdoor Championships. But you had 5 podium finishes. Janae Scott won a championship. Just your thoughts on the whole MEC Outdoor Championships as a whole.
When we wrap things up on Tuesday of the conference meet, looking at the team and how we kind of broke things down in our final meeting, I felt a lot better than I did the year prior. And just from everyone just seemed settled and accomplished for what we did. For the team places, it's not exactly what we wanted. But with the group we showed up with, we were very, very, very pleased with what we came out with. And at the end of the day, that was more podium finishes than we had the year before. And, talking about Janae's championship. Back-to-back shot put championships and podiumed in discus, scored 21 points for our team, which was huge. And then, talking about Kuffner, had his best race of the year. Hasn't quite got back to his personal best, but it wouldn't have mattered. It would have had him in the same spot regardless. Just touching on his event in the 400 hurdles, we went 3, 4, 8. We qualified 3 guys for the final. Mark Fernandez Solora is our first international recruit into the program, took off exactly 2 seconds in 2 days to be able to finish 4th in our conference. And that's just a huge statement for someone that, went across the world to be a part of our program. And I'm really proud of him. And that 400 hurdle group was fun to work with this year. And we're returning all of them. And that's an event that we're hoping we can get even another person in next year. And then going through to Natalie, amazing freshman campaign. She was the only freshman to do the 15-8 5K gauntlet, which is within 2 hours all those events were within 2 hours of each other. And one of the things that, says about her strength and her faith and just everything that she believes in as a runner was, the 800 wasn't what she wanted. She got on the podium and came back 40 minutes later and lapped 12 and a half laps around the track. She was unranked in the 5K to get sixth. And that just says a lot about her. That was huge, and reminiscing on that is very cool at this moment. So, I'm very, very proud of her. And then Kim Halsey picked up a jav about a month ago to get on the podium and score some points for her team. She scored double-digit points between that and the vault, which was huge for her to end her career. And then Christian Hanna, 3-time all-conference in the hammer. Wasn't the throw that he wanted, but the other two guys kind of went nuts, and he knew at the end he just needed to get one in to put himself in the all-conference mix again, and he did that. Someone was very loyal to me in this program, and he'll be greatly missed.
Well, and you talked about, I brained out right there already. Jesus.
Congratulations. You won.
You talked about some returners. You got some key ones coming back. I mean, there's no doubt about that. What's your plan coming into the offseason now that you got some key returners and trying to mix in some new people?
Well, we obviously need some depth in a lot of areas. We need to get some people involved in the jumps and the multis. Still a lot of people on the recruiting board, but we're close to 30 on the signees. And just at the West Virginia State meet this past weekend, and we had a lot of future Pioneers crowned as state champions. Now they're assigned. I can talk about Hannah Rowan out of Lincoln High School in Harrison County, 400 meters state champ in AA. Nick Pitchford out of Buffalo High School won the 800, 1600, 3200. Was a High Point Award winner. Two of those were state meet records. And then 3 of his teammates that he combined with in the 4x800, they have the single A state meet record, and they're all coming to Glenville next year. So a lot of good distance faces and a lot of big PRs. Jenna Barnett out of Trinity Christian got 3rd place in the 1600 with like a 5:23 miles. So bringing in a lot of distance kids. We had some all-staters in the throws, in the jumps, in the hurdles. So, all across the board, we had some really good signees coming in and still working with a few transfers, internationals that hopefully we can get signed for next year. The roster is going to look a lot bigger, and I'm very excited that we're returning as of today all of our team from next year, which in the transfer portal era is hard. Still have a long way to go before we start classes on August 19th, but I believe that we'll return all of our team, if not, most of them. And I've never been more excited to kind of see what's next. So.
And then, one last thing from the coaching perspective. I mean, you had so many records broken this year, all region, all conference champions. What was it like this year for you, just from the coaching perspective?
Kind of surreal in a way, especially on the women's side. We had a lot of records broken last year, and Janae and Natalie combined for 5 outdoor records. And it's kind of surreal that we've been competing in the sport for over 40 years. And, 3 of the best athletes that have ever came through this program, the 3 best in my opinion, have been these last 2 years. And I think that's huge momentum that girls and guys that can believe that they can come here and be successful, that we have the facilities to do it, that we have the coaching staff that's going to care about them. When I got here, our men's team GPA was a 2.3. We just finished with a 3.1. Our women's cross country team had a 3.7 in back-to-back semesters. So I feel like if you do things the right way, kids are going to want to come here and compete. And that's what we're trying to do. We want to build it the right way. That's what I've wanted to do since day one. And there was a few struggles in between it, but I'm happy where we're at right now. But it's been awesome to kind of follow these athletes' journey to be, and it just, Janae and Natalie, the 2 most humble people I know. Humble and hard work. I put it on my Facebook post, is humble and hard work is what they're all about. And so very excited to see what they accomplish in the future. And I believe when everything's said and done, Natalie's going to be all region, which would have gave her all region for cross country, indoor and outdoor, which is a huge honor for a freshman. And, like I said, excited for what's next.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great year, and we appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show. With me now, I have head softball coach Sarah Schoon. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So it's been about 3 weeks since we talked to you last. Last time you played was at the MEC tournament, May 2nd. You went 1-2 there, lost your first one, beat Concord to stay alive, and then lost it was a shootout almost with Davis and Elkins. Your thoughts on the MEC tournament there?
Next year, hopefully, if we make it back, we will come out a little hotter on defense, hit the bat or hit the ball with the. Can we start over? Okay. Hopefully next year when we get back, we will start a little better on defense, hit the ball a little quicker, not wait as long to compete. But honestly, it was just one of those, weeks for us, and other teams were
Just as hot coming in,
ready
honestly.
to go. And anyone can win in postseason. So everyone has a chance. And we just didn't play our best.
Yeah, and you came in so hot too, 16 out of 19. It's kind of hard to keep that pace throughout. Some other things I want to talk about, some seniors that are leaving, some mainstays. I think Holly Brim, if not the best, one of the best to ever come through Glenville State. Your thoughts on all of them, them leaving, it sucks, but just to be able to see them play these past couple of years, how's that been for you?
Oh, man, it's been great. So Holly Brem, Lauren Kisner, Kate Casse, and Caitlin Reiser, all of them were just so impactful this past year. Holly obviously has just recorded every single stat in the stat book at number one. She will be definitely greatly missed, but she's also going to be missed just because she was such a good teammate and such a good leader for the whole pitching staff in general. All of our younger pitchers really looked up to her, and she was just such a great teammate to all of them. Lauren Kisner, it was so great coaching her. She was my only full 4-year athlete. She stayed as a freshman when I came in, and we went through the whole thing together, and she really, really, really bought in, and she was just a phenomenal leader and really kept everyone in line. And then Caitlin and Caitlin, they were the two transfers that came in to play their 5th year with us, and they really bought in. They gave everything they could, and I'm really excited to see Reiser flourish in her career. She's going to finish her MBA and work in healthcare management. And then Kate Casse is staying for a couple GA years here. So that's awesome. For those of you that don't know, now you know. So we're really excited to have her back. She'll be working with pitchers. She'll be helping with practices and all that. And look to see her in the dugout in games.
And before we hit on some plans for next year, I just want to talk about this past year as a whole. You went 26 games. It was the most in the single season since we joined the Mountain East Conference in 2014, technically in the spring. Number 2 South Division finished the highest since joining the league. Team ERA of 2.31 was the lowest as a team in program history. Regional ranking highest is number 7, the highest in program history. And then the team GPA, a lot of things that not as many people would really see, I think. That's the highest as a team in program history. How has this year been for you from the coaching perspective?
Oh my gosh. I coach amazing young ladies. I mean, they are so well-rounded. They are driven. They show up not only to practice, they show up to class. They show up to lifts. They show up and they help each other. They sit together in the calf. They're just so wonderful on every avenue that you can take, I think the GPA is a true testament to how determined they were this year. At no point did they falter. Even in their personal studies, and the regional ranking, that's kind of what every coach wants. You want to do what you can during the regular season to get a bid into postseason. So next year, hopefully we can hit 6 or 5 or 4, or who knows,
And you barely missed out this year too.
Yeah. And that was hard, but it was also, it was a great experience. We got to get the team together. We sat with our athletic director. You were there. The president was there. I mean, how wonderful, we got to watch the selection show, and hopefully that feeds the girls into next year. And then, just taking there's nothing that shows you how to win better than winning. So hopefully this year can really thrive us into next year, and maybe more wins. The softball gods are on our side too. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited.
You talk about, nothing feeds more winning than actually winning. And
Right.
You did that this year. You talk about, fueling the fire, hardly missing out on the tournament. How much can that build into these girls for next year? Because it's like, the past couple of years and last year you had a good year. Just it wasn't like this year. You just really got hot at the right time. How much can this year feed into next year?
I think this year the only difference was that our maturity level was a little bit higher. We historically play a ton of freshmen, and this year we had 3 starting freshmen, and we had other freshmen who are continually contributing to games. And this year, being that we had our core sophomores and juniors, and we had an older pitching staff relatively, I think that's really what hits a team and really throws them through the end of the year and into a postseason. Because, and I think other coaches can attest to this, when you have a team full of upperclassmen, usually that's the group that plays for the team, plays for anything but their stats. They want to win. They want to do it for the school, the program they've been at for so long. And when you have a team full of starting freshmen, they just don't know that yet. You know, they're great players, of course, but they don't know how to play for something so much bigger than themselves when they're so new into the program.
100%.
So I think just the maturity level being higher this year is really what, you know, threw us forward in the end of the year. And hopefully next year, it's the whole year, you know. The goal is to always come out hot and then get hotter at the end, but not to come out slow.
Yeah.
So
And we talked about next year. What's your plan for the offseason? I know you talked about some camps you're going to, some tournaments, stuff like that. What's the plan for you recruiting-wise and just, you know, for the summer as a whole?
Yeah, so we'll be out on the road recruiting a lot this summer. We'll be in North Ridgeville, Ohio. We'll be in Chattanooga, Jackson, Tennessee. We'll be in Columbus, Ohio. We'll be in Westfield, Indiana. We're all over the place this year. We're going to the state tournament for West Virginia, and we're going to the state tournament for Ohio. Super excited just to be out and about recruiting again. Looking for a few spots to fill for coming years. And as far as camps go, working the Morgan Zirkle camp July 9th. Might be doing a camp down in southern West Virginia. Not sure yet, but keep an eye out on our Twitter. But we'll post updates. But yeah, so I'm super excited to go out and about. You know, I've been traveling around the nation since I was little with my dad, playing in tournaments all over, and it's just something to keep me to my roots. And I think my dad's maybe going to come with me a time or two this summer again. Yeah, he's harder than I am. So keep an eye out for Mr. Schoon. But yeah, so we're excited.
How much has this past year of success, feel like it's going to help you in the recruiting cycle this time around?
You always you want to win, you want to win, you want to win, you want to win, for a lot of different reasons. But there's always something in the back of your coaching mind where the more I win, the better I'll have a chance at getting these other athletes to come in. And we're on the transfer portal. The transfer portal's crazy, but that's you can find some great athletes there, and more so athletes coming from winning programs, and they can bring that winning culture with them. And it's just there's so many aspects and avenues to take. But hopefully, the winning that we have and the winning that will come will always throw us in a better direction.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great year, and we appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pioneer Coaches Show. With me now, I have head baseball coach Jimmy Mullins. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Coach, it's been a long time since we've been able to talk to you. End of the season out hot. Went to the MEC tournament as the number 2 seed in the South after winning 21 games during the conference slate. You went to the MEC tournament. Got beat by Fairmont in the first one, had to stay alive in the second against Charleston. Got beat there, too. Just your thoughts on the performances there at the MEC tournament.
Well, we credit to Fairmont State. They, started the season kind of slower, and then they did a really good job. They had a good team towards the end of the year.
Got hot at the right time.
Yep, exactly. And I thought we had good starting pitching there, and we just didn't score enough runs to be able to hold off in the 9-inning game. And, our bullpen's been our weak point all year. And that'll be something that we can work on. But, credit to Fairmont. They played a good game there. I thought we played decently well. Our mentality was okay. Our bounce back wasn't as good. We got a little bit desperate quick, but, that's just the way it goes. And credit to them. We lost that game, and we got a good start against Charleston in the next game. Hit that big 3-run home run there, had pretty good energy. And, again, just couldn't hold off there in the bullpen. But I thought we played pretty well that game. And credit to Charleston. They were one win or one day away from getting to the World Series here this past weekend.
Yep.
And they had a great season as well. And, the Southern Division is good baseball. But, 21 conference wins. That was a program record, 21-9 in the conference there. Over the last 3 years, we've won 85 games. We're 85-64. Over the last 3 years in conference, we're 55-37, so 3 straight years of winning baseball here. And we can't lose sight of that. Sometimes, got to know it's a journey, right? So we started the season. I didn't know if we would, score more than 10 runs in the whole year, right? And we ended up having 9 guys batting over 300 who had 20 or more at-bats. We had, on the mound, we ended up having Manaya win 7-2 as a senior. Korn went 6-1. freshman Cole Grady ended up 4-3 with a winning record. Diego also won 4 games there, and he's the all-time strikeouts leader now.
Yeah, and all-time wins leader as
All-time wins and all-time strikeouts. What a career for him and Minaya. And I'm really excited about Cole Grady being able to start that game 4 of the weekend as a freshman. It's not easy, and
Not at all.
he went 4-3,
Yep.
and that's pretty good. I'm really proud of him. We ended up striking out 366 guys as a staff, only walking 273. We were top half in batting, top half in pitching. We were third best in batting average against, top half in fielding percentage, top half in home runs, and top half in hardest to strike out as hitters. So, overall, we started kind of rough, had to figure out some pieces, and I'm a big believer in it's not always your 9 best that you play, but it's your best 9. So, and we were able to put that together. Once we figured out that combination, I think it gelled and we were tough. But I wanted to give thanks to, some people that are leaving our program. Zach Morris, as a senior, he played shortstop for us, played third for us, he played second for us, he pitched for us,
Everywhere.
and he even pitched for us. So his changeup was really good. I told him he's available in the bullpen here that last week. And so really thankful for him, 4-year guy. Chris Thompson, really thankful for him. He ended up, I nominated him for all-conference reliever. Talking about a guy who's just not blessed with a bunch of talent, and he knows that, but he works really hard. He's got a good attitude, and he's got a good baseball head. I believe he also played in our e-gaming league there, and he was a good campus guy. Vince Turner, left-handed hitter. He's from Bridgeport. He's a senior. He did excellent in class. He didn't play a whole lot, but ultimate team guy. And there were some people close to him throughout his life that said he would never play college baseball, and he was able to prove them wrong here. Fabian Escalante, Division I transfer, end up being all-time doubles.
All-time doubles, top. I mean, he's about top 3 in just about every category you can think of.
Category, and he didn't play his freshman year here. Give him one more year, he probably has all those. But,
Yeah, easily.
Super good team guy, very smart hitter. He's playing down in Puerto Rico right now in kind of like a pro showcase league. Credit to him, he's able to kind of get our hitters together and echo the messages that the head coach is trying to give, and he's a big part of the reason why we had that bounce back offensively. Luis Liriano, who started the season really slow, ended up batting .318, I believe, in the league. Playing really good shortstop, played third for us. Broke his leg last year, and heck of a comeback for him. Mason Lohr, who was our leadoff guy, just blue-collar guy. We're really thankful for him. We're thankful he chose us once Ohio Valley closed the doors. He chose us to come over, and he was the heart and soul of our team. Julian Minaya, like I said, went 7-2. Heck of a career, but this year, 3/4 of the way through this season, I used a stat program to put him up against our All-American Adam Riggleman, and his numbers were good, if not better, in most categories. He had a great year. Angelo D, he come here, Division I transfer, had an injured arm, and he tried to rehab it his whole time here, just couldn't get it back right. But he was so good for us because he's a throwing savant. He studies it, and he helps our guys. Super thankful for him. Diego Tamariz, we talked about, from Venezuela, being able to come here, spoke very little English, passed all his classes, and was dominant on the mound. Just a great dude. I wanted to say also Zach Bacon, who was with us as a player. He's been here with 6 out of my 11 years, something like that. He also graduated with his master's degree this year. Nick Moore, he was left-handed pitcher transfer. He graduated as well. Super thankful for him. Nolan Freeman, our pitching coach, super thankful for the time that he gave here, and great dude there. And also wanted to give thanks to the whole game day staff. All you guys do. It's incredible what we do here, what you all do here, and our students really appreciate it. And of course, Coach Skiles doing the play-by-play, and the Woodfords out there, and Ike Morris, Bobby, what he does, and Jeanette for all she does in the training room. And hopefully I didn't forget anybody. I know that's a long list, but just wanted to be sure that it's important to take that little time there. And we had a good team, good year. It was historic. Didn't get it done in the tournament, but that's just the way baseball is. It's kind of like 2 separate seasons, right? We got it done in the season 1. Thankfully, we were able to play in season 2, where most of the country is not playing in that season 2, and we were competitive. Didn't get it done. Just something to push forward to.
And you talk about that, getting it done in season 1 to be able to play in season 2. I mean, we already mentioned it, 21 conference wins. You talked about the last 3 years. I mean, earlier in the year, it was off to a hot start, and then you get under 500. At one point, late in the year, 16 and 17, you win 10 in a row. You put yourself in a great position. What was the year like in total for you? I mean, you had 5 guys get all conference. That's the most in the last time that I could think of. Fabian Escalante gets first team all region. Luis Leonardo earlier in the year got Atlantic Region Hitter of the Week. What was the year like for you just in total?
I think there's a lot of lessons in this one. For me personally, the last year and a half has been really hard on multiple levels, and it just never ends. But those guys there every day, just being able to show up and be with them, I mean, they save my life every day that I see them. And like I said, you go the everyday. I don't want to say grind, but the everyday you dig in and try to get better and better and better and better. Next thing you know, you look up, we've won 10 in a row. You look up, we have 5 guys ready to be on the all conference list. There was 3 or 4 more guys that could have been nominated
100%.
as well. So. And that's just a testament that, you just got to put your head down and work. And sometimes you can't worry about the result. You just got to work on what you can control. And this group was a test to me too, because, I mean, they were tough sometimes. They were one of my tougher groups. It's not that they're bad kids, but the information just, I'm going to say don't listen, but they just don't listen. You give them the information, it's hard for them to apply it to the practices and to the concepts. And I mean, simple as, hey, set up on this side of the plate. And the very next pitch, they set up on the wrong side of the plate. So it's challenging to me to try to find different ways to reach them. And I don't know if it's generational or what, but I'm going to figure it out. It's a good challenge. I love them to death. We all improve, and if we're not improving, then they know every lyric to every dumb song in the whole world and can't remember set up on the left side of the plate. I think all my coaching instruction next year is going to be none. It's going to all be on TikTok.
Or some type of Apple Music song. You got
Yes.
to do something there. I just bring that.
Nothing says good baseball instruction like a little short fat guy on TikTok.
Anyways, back to the televised program here. You talked about all the guys that you're going to be missing out and losing. I mean, it's a long list of some talented guys. What's the plan now that you go into the offseason of trying to replace that?
Well, we've worked hard in previous seasons. In baseball, you have to recruit 2 years ahead. We've worked hard to get guys. We had 4 or 5 guys on our roster that could be starting at other schools, this year as young guys. Hopefully as we go on and lose guys, you got guys coming up, and that's a tough thing with these guys to get them to buy into, hey, you're not going to get it all right now. You're a freshman, you're not going to get it all right now, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all, yeah.
Because you got 22, 23, 24-year-old kids you're playing with, and guess what? Their mommies and daddies told them how special they were too. And, when you're a freshman and you're on a roster, you're one of the select limited few. And you have to buy into that. And the guys that did and will, they'll be there to get ready to help us, and we'll work hard to replace the rest of it.
Well, Coach, congratulations on another great year. It was great to watch all year, and we appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, thank you all again. Thank you.